In the early years of World War II, Poland found itself invaded on two sides by both the Nazis and the Soviets. After the British pressured Stalin, the Soviets freed many of their Polish POWs, allowing them to form the Polish Free Army. This unit would go on to serve on many fronts throughout the war, but they're best known for a different reason. They were the only army to have a bear registered as an enlisted combat soldier. Today on History Hobbit, we're exploring the story of Wojtek, the Polish brown bear who fought the Nazis. In the wake of the invasion of Poland in 1939, thousands of Polish soldiers and citizens were deported to gulags across the Soviet Union. While initially unwilling to give up their freshly secured territory, the Soviets became desperate for Allied help after Hitler attacked them in 1941. Stalin quickly caved to the Allied demands and gave up Poland for Allied support. As a part of this deal, all Polish prisoners were set free. It was agreed upon that the newly freed Polish soldiers would form a unit under General Anders and became known as the Anders Army. After it became clear that the Soviets were unable to supply this new unit, a plan to transport them into British territory was set into place. With the English-Soviet invasion of Iran, a route became available through that area. Though the unit lost many troops through this dangerous journey, they gained one member who became very famous. In the western Iranian city of Hamadan, a young brown bear was found by a boy after hunters killed his mother. After the cub was brought to the city's train station, he caught the eye of a niece of one of the Polish officers in the area. The bear was bought, and the Polish girl cared for him for 3 months in a temporary camp where the Polish troops were staying on their way to join the British. Eventually, he was turned over to a Polish artillery supply unit and was given the name Wojtek, which means happy warrior. Very quickly, Wojtek developed a taste for beer, cigarettes, and coffee, reflecting the bad habits of the soldiers around him. After seeing action in North Africa, Wojtek and his unit remained in Egypt for all of 1943 and missed the start of the Italian invasion. Finally, in 1944, Wojtek and the rest of the Polish Second Corps were sent to Italy. There was only one problem though. British military regulations outlawed mascots and pets of any kind. Wojtek's friends weren't ready to leave him behind though, so they drafted him as an enlisted private. For all intents and purposes, Wojtek was now an active military personnel. After arriving in Italy, the Poles were thrown into the hard-fought Battle of Monte Cassino. The Allies had already been repelled 3 times here. Upon arriving in Italy, Wojtek was considered a true member of the Second Corps. He was given a serial number and a small salary which covered the cost of his food. He wasn't just a mascot though. He slept in tents with his comrades and even assisted with daily chores by carrying around heavy crates of artillery shells. The Poles were actually the first Allied group to break the stalemate at Monte Cassino. For his service in the battle, Wojtek was promoted to corporal and his image was adopted as the official emblem of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. As the Polish Second Corps pressed further into Italy, they were joined by more and more liberated soldiers. By the end of the war, they were held in high regard by the Allies as fierce warriors. Unfortunately though, Wojtek and his comrades faced the reality of the Iron Curtain that fell across Poland after the war. The new Soviet regime was just as authoritarian and repressive as the Nazis had been. Wojtek's caretakers didn't want him to return to Poland because they feared that the puppet communist government would adopt him as a mascot. That was the very thing that they'd been fighting against. Luckily, the bear was sent to Scotland in 1945, where he lived with other Polish soldiers who were stationed there temporarily. Wojtek lived the rest of his days there. The bear sadly died in 1963 after many happy years on the farm, well loved by all who knew him. Eyewitnesses say that he was an active member of the community and almost human. In 2015, a bronze statue of Wojtek was unveiled in central Edinburgh in honor of the bear's service. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to History Hobbit and click here to watch more of my videos. See you next time.